Now, the most important part. This is a bit tricky. Yes, I am very satisfied that you have a good result from lowering the voice and rising attention. There is a catch for vibrations. It's need to be learned in a way from personal practice, but it can be very fast learner if you know how to do it, and I will show you. When you speak and when you start put hands on your lungs, you will instantly feel vibrations. When you are saying like this, you will play and you will see that vibrations are there. There is a catch. When you put a finger, put on your throat, and when you start to speak, and I can feel vibrations on my finger. But when I move finger, and when I start to speak the same, I will start to feel vibrations directly on the top of my finger. Because the vibration, it's not in the finger, it's in the mind. Now I start to speak, and as soon as I continue to watch my finger, I feel vibrations because I put attention. Now, you can literally, by observing and expecting attention to be on some part of the body, when I'm using vibration, the part of the body when I'm expecting to feel vibration will start to feel a bit different. And you can do in any part of the body. And yes, you can use it on your genitalia, of course. This is, I know that you want to ask me that. But yes, this is the perfect way of Tantra and couple, when woman is always up, and when you are doing this carezza movement very slowly with vibrations, you can rise very good, exactly like cat purring in that, and it will be, but this is another topic. I know that you want to speak about sexual magic always. We can talk about it, because vibration and using a sound with the body connection, it's a perfect, especially in a couple, working with couple. There is a next way that you can easily learn to sense vibration without vibration itself, but during usual way of speaking, like this. I can literally sense that my finger, it starts to reacting because I am thinking about it, and this is a trick of mind. When I'm thinking about it, I don't even need to see it. When I'm starting to speak, now my mind is giving me illusion and projection that my finger, it's starting to use as a sound, as a speaker, as a sound speaker, as a truth, which is totally illusion. But my mind, it's settling. The source of my vibration is in my finger. In my finger. Get it? So when I'm start to drawing, there is a different way of vibration, not with the sign of Enterer, which is adopted in Golden Dawn, as Horus sign, but in quite simpler way. I will switch it on in a center, starting to vibrate. And I'm traveling my focus on my finger, and instantly I'm sensing vibration in front of me because I'm watching my finger is this as the same technique as I'm talked to you before. There is a catch, you need to do it for a while, starting from the lungs, then throat, then starting to talk like this, and then yes, I can see punctation and feeling that my finger, because there is a nerve, the ending of the nerve which is coming from I'm playing with it. This is the mind game, not the physical body. Although the physical body has its very unique small way of talking with my nerves through my spinal cord the nerves of my brain, and I am doing the push because I'm literally creating magical link between my fingers and my head, which is not in the nerve, not in the spine. It is in the emptiness. And I'm creating potential in that emptiness because I want to do so. By doing vibration, my mind is so bombed by so much information that it doesn't have chance to prove me that I'm wrong. I'm doing vibration, concentration, attention, and I'm looking at it, and I'm instantly now sensing that my vibration from my words is now in my finger. I can do with my other finger. I can do it in any part of the body just as I'm focusing on it. And as I'm speaking now, I'm speaking in this moment, and I'm sensing vibration on my arm. And you can do it in the center of the pentagram. So don't be limited by just sign with the Horus, and you can do it with the palm and with the hand, or even you can do it with the four fingers as 4 points of the pentagram. It's not, don't seek perfectness because there is no perfect pentagram movement. Yes, there is. This is the top, this is the bottom, the upper, and this is the bottom. There is a pentagram, and I can literally switch it on. Now I can, even now as I'm talking, I'm moving my attention, traveling my attention from here to here, and now my pentagram it starts to speak, and I'm sensing vibration there on the top of my fingers. But what if you don't put vibration anywhere? I can imagine that my vibration is there without even touching, and now I can feel it almost. I need a bit more time. I can release vibration from physical essence, so I can literally light my pentagram by my will. I don't need hands. You can just play and imagine how your mind trick can play with all this. So in the essence you can do it in your chair, and in the end in the silence. There is a two-way. You can do it without physical movement. The first one, that I'm closing my eyes and I'm imagining that I'm going there in the center of the room with my body of light in my imagination, and that I'm doing everything like game. First point of view, that I'm there and I'm using the same patterns of formulas, but there, not here. And there become here because that point of consciousness is here, but that here for me is there. The change of perspective serve for the mind as a bit for liberation. So in one moment, I can literally be stunned that as I'm continue to do a ritual of the pentagram from that place, in one moment I can find myself there. Even now, as I'm seeing you, I'm trying to do it from here, and in one way my mind will simply drop this point of view, putting me there, which is we are calling spontaneous astral projections during the performance of ritual of the pentagram in the mind, which is a consequence. It is not the main primary goal, although as you will be more experienced, you will experience what we are calling the transferring of in the consciousness into simulacrum or the body of light. Call it whatever you want. The second most interesting is that you are imagining your body, but not in the first view, but in the third view. You are still there, but you have a simulacrum that he is performing a ritual, but you are just observing it. And everything that he is doing, you are not doing. You are just watching yourself doing it from this distance. And spontaneous astral projections are much often, even for a slightly couple of seconds, and you will be very dizzy about it, and you will return as as experience is overcoming in you, and that you are doing this almost daily. Yes, you will reach a point that you can literally jump there, and you will be very it is interesting that because your mind will not be able to be in a both perspective, but this traveling outside for a couple of seconds will serve you as a hint how it is feel. So next body of light technique, which is a crucial, especially for adept who is using the mind traveling. Of course, it is not mind traveling, it is self traveling, because it is all inside of your head, but you're expanding that head a bit much longer, so it can simply take parts of the universe itself, so you can travel, but in fact you are traveling inside of your skull. This is not small place, it is much bigger than this universe, because that universe is just expression which is inside of myself. So don't expect, as most people expect, that you are going anywhere. No. You are all time in one very wonderful cage, which we are calling reality. But that reality is just a matter of perspective and matter of agreement. If you want to call it a universe and a tree of life and infinite life, yes, we can call it, but this is just an idea which is still inside of your mind. Even breaking the cage and going to have liberty is the same idea as a cage, is idea, a value which is inside of your head. The Kabbalist put a wheel of unlimited idea to be very limited, to be Ein, Ein Sof, and Ein Sof Hour. Even limitness is divided in a three-wheel of negative existence, but which is very smart and cunning way to deal with abstract, everlastingly idea of nothingness. We will talk about it sometimes later. We will deal with this negative sensations, which is called shunyata, or emptiness, as we can call it on the West, but still it is just an idea which toward we don't have any experience. The end of all ritual is there. traveling our selfhood toward that point of sentence which is dot, which we see but which we cannot pronounce. We can pronounce the names, the letters, even syntaxes, that we can raise voices, that we can, like actor, that we can pronounce sentence in a different, very special way. But the point and dot is the same. You cannot pronounce it. You can show it, but you cannot pronounce it. The end of the ritual is that same kind of molecule of emptiness. When you finish it, what you will do? Will you stand in your place and enjoy? What you will do? You will see that the ritual, the real ritual, it's starting from that place. From the end of the ritual is the beginning of real attainment. You need to hear sounds, to see your senses. It's quite change, because the body and the mind enter specific part of reality which we call trance. You are changed, but still you are much more likely to be more you in a real point of the word. So the ritual, it's not serve for you to change, but to become more what you already are. But being what you are in a real world is simply being what you are not. You are taking the mask, you are taking the strange language like I'm using now to express myself and my teaching to you, but that is not me. That is what you are perceiving me now in your head. So where am I? In Belgrade, or before your monitor, or somewhere much closer in your head as experience? So the whole time during this webinar, we are doing the ritual, thinking about it. Even now, you are in as exact the same place, caged and imprisoned in your point of view. When you are doing the ritual and talking the ritual, you are doing the same thing. When I ask you not to think about the ritual of the pentagram, about what you are exactly now thinking, you are thinking about the ritual of the pentagram. The mind don't have negative idea as a potential. So, if you don't want to do ritual, and if you think during the day that you don't want to do the ritual of the pentagram, you are performing the ritual of the pentagram, but in another way. When children want to tell you something, when they are saying, "Father, I don't like you anymore, I don't love you anymore," because you are refusing to give them cartoon. In their language, they are just showing and saying, "Father, please, I need you." But in a reverse language, they say, I hate you. Now I don't love you. Father, now I don't love you anymore. Will they are saying that they don't love me anymore? Of course not. But the language is a different. Why do you think that these letters and this word that I'm using now are this different word that I use when I perform a ritual? Because they are in different forms, different shapes. the same will is behind them. If you don't know that mechanism, who is behind the rite and behind the rituals and behind the practices, who is using the words as a puppets, you will not doing anything. You are just performing something in a strange language, like reading a book in a language that you are not familiar. And in the end of the book, you will not have any experience to attain. When you are finished the ritual, you are just finishing watching Netflix series and you are turning off the television and you are going out in the world without any real value. So, why do you need to perform the ritual? Why? To feel good? But I feel good now. Why do I need to change from one good to another good? You change a place, a restaurant, because you eat one food and you are going to another restaurant to maybe experience better food. But why do you need to perform ritual if you don't have any value? Except that you think that you are feeling good, why do you performing? Okay, you perform ritual of pentagram once. Why you need to perform another one, and another one, and another one? You watch a good movie once. Do you watch it again? Of course not. Why? Because it will be boring. You know what is in the end. You know who is the killer. You know that Darth Vader is the father of Luke Skywalker, and there is no punchline. But still, you are expecting punchline in the end of each ritual that you perform in the same way. And what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. You just want, expecting to see the different outcome of the ritual while you are performing in the same way. Never perform ritual in the same way. Try to perform ritual of the pentagram in reverse. Did you try it? Totally in reverse. Start from the from Kabbalistic cross, but Leolam Amen, Legedulach, Legeburach, Malkut, Hara, Atech. Totally different. And now enthusiasm and strong will is rising in me. Child in me is rising because it is interesting. Try to do whole pentagram in a reverse, starting from the earth and finishing in the air, in the east. But you are not doing forces of the universe in a proper way because the books are not telling you. But did you try? No, but how can you know? Change. Try to change vibration. When you are speaking Yehovah, try to sing. How? I don't know. Let me try. I never do that. Let me say Yehovah, Adonai, Ehyeh, and Agla in a singing way. Like this. perfect. For me, I sense much better enjoyment and feeling of pleasure than in maybe 90% of all ritual that I perform as a kid. Very, very boring. Although I perform with a full text, I did mistake because I put Ehyeh instead of Adonai, because usually my point of space in my direction, for me I put this to be east, but east in my usual way is there. So I'm just returning, and I made mistake, but I didn't stop. I didn't stop because I felt good. I feel good. You need to feel that good. If you made mistake, you can literally perform a ritual in another language. You have Google Earth, Google Translate. Type Serbian language and perform whole before me and above in another language. You will see how different everything will be. Play with it, sing it. Do it in silence. Do the whole Kabbalistic cross A, E, I, O, U. Like this. Totally. Do you think that now forces who need to be evoked will say, oh, no, he didn't pronounce correctly, we will not come to this earth to manifest our glory? No, we will not do that. Dusan, you need to do this better. Do you really think that Archangel Michael now waiting before my door to knock, and they are waiting, 4 of them, there is very narrow corridor, and 4 of them are now struggling with all wings and everything. Who will come if I pronounce the name correctly, but if I not pronounce correctly, they will not come. They will not come. They will go to be with another practitioner and say, Dusan, we will go to be with him, not with you. What is the edge of good ritual or bad ritual? Pleasure, sense of goodness. Pleasure, always pleasure, in magic, pleasure. Don't think that you are feeling the energy. You will see a lots of people, I feel energy, I sense energy, especially where they are doing the yoga and pranayama. But of course that you are feeling energy. You breathe air and you do a good job with your lungs. Of course that you are feeling energy, but please don't speak about more energy. Speak how you feel pleasure. You will see that a very small amount of people talk about it. I feel good. I feel good, yeah. Did you enjoy your meal? Yes, it was interesting. It was beautiful. Yes, the whole surrounding, it's perfect. But nobody say, oh, it is very tasteful. Most of people speak about something else instead of the pleasure. And doing, doing remark on something which is good, of course. Architecture, the music, the weather was perfect. Very good temperature. Who gives a fuck about it? Tell me if this food was tasty. Well, not so. This is what I want to hear. So, when you perform a ritual, when you're writing a diary, usually Write about how did you feel it. If you are feeling bad, write about it. Why you felt bad. Why? I don't feel anything. Sure, write about. Write about that nothing. I don't feel anything. But I felt very, very wrong that I need to feel this nothingness. And I feel bored. I feel boredom. So it is not nothing. It is boredom. You are bored that you repeat some ritual in the same way and you didn't have result like yesterday. And yesterday it was good. Now it is not. You need to change. Change vibration. Get the clothes and perform naked. Did you perform ritual naked? No. Why? Because I have small dick and I don't like to perform anything and my balls and I don't feel, I want to be, I don't like. What? You felt uncomfortable. You felt uncomfortable to perform naked before the whole universe? You want Archangel Michael to come and you felt uncomfortable to be naked? Are you really prepared enough to perform a ritual if you felt this kind of emotions inside of you? Go outside. Go outside and perform the whole ritual on the cross on the street. If you are not capable to do that, not in a technical way, but to feel comfortable, you will never be able to perform ritual correctly. You need to be silent because there is a neighbor not to hear you. Why? But they will, I don't know, they will imagine that I'm in some sect, that I am the member of some organization. Yes, so? You see how, now I'm just playing, but you see how so bad things are inside us and we want to banish them by the power of the pentagram. Do you really think that the pentagram can do anything? That you can go on the street and when you perform ritual of pentagram, you will not feel embarrassment before the neighbors? Of course not. You will feel stupid the same. The pentagram cannot do anything. It is you that you need to change. The way of thinking, the way of the ritual itself. For about performance, yes, there is a physical performance and there is a mental. For me, it is very good for your imagination to once in a while to simply maybe a few days perform only mentally. Just close your eyes. And it is very good for visualization and some other things that you need to perform. But when you are doing in your imagination and visualization, don't try to visualize. Try to remember the last time when you do it, how you did it. And you see, it is a totally different part of visualization. When you want to visualize some house, and if I ask you to remember the last time you entered your own house, and when you start to remembering, this is totally different kind of visualization. You don't have any problem with remembering the visualization of something which already happened. But if I ask you, you need to imagine a blue circle with Hebrew letter, you will say, no, there is no way I can visualize that. But if I show you that blue circle with Hebrew letter, and when I now say, okay, remember what you visualize, you will instantly have much better visualization. So, don't put effort in visualization. Try to remember the last time you did it well. and your mind will instantly start to work in a different way. Much better. Now, the main trick is to remember something which never happened. If you learn the way, the trick of the mind, to say, and you will see the point of my eyes when you ask somebody to remember something, they will say this. You see how I move my eyes because I wanted with my eyes to search my right hemisphere, because my eyes go left, because eyes are connected, twisted with the left eye for right and the right hemisphere for the left. So the people start to see, let me see, they are starting to use remembering, not visualization. If I ask you to visualize blue circle, you will do this. You see the points of the eyes? No, I want this. This, remembering. So the next time when I ask you to visualize something, observe your eyes. If you are doing this or this, and you will know what particle of your soul is activated. If you want to be horny, you don't need to remember me or the car or anything else, because your penis will stay in the same place. You need to remember the last time you have a good fuck with something from the past, and that will start to produce an engine, horny engine, long enough that you will get horny. The same is with spiritual. You need to change part of the brain that you think it's good for visualization, but it is bad for you. Usually, lucid dreaming, astral projection, scrying, evocation, Enochian magic, completely wrong mechanism of doing the things, and in the end, what you will have in the end? Failure. You will produce Enochian keys, and you will start to scry, and you will wait, and you will wait, and you will wait, and nothing will happen. Just like for scrying. Lucid dreaming, billions of hours and hours, totally wrongdoing. The ritual itself of proof of our own failure to comprehend the light. Do you need a ritual if you are already in communion with the God? Of course not. Do you think in paradise, in Christian paradise, they serve Sunday Mass? Of course not. This is for the earth. In the paradise, they are with the God itself. They don't need Masses. So, do you need a ritual? And for what? Think. For about performance, sometimes you need a break. So, the ritual of the pentagram is something to be performed daily, but too much will produce too much trouble. You need always few days a break. And when you are doing the break, after you return to performance, you will be astonished by good results after the break. But if you have daily without any break, your curve of advancement will start to fall. And sooner or later you will be surprised that the more you do, the less you are attain. So, sometimes the breaking, the ritual, it's the better performing than performance itself. It's contradictory. You need to listen to your selfhood, to listen to your nature, and you will realize when you reach the point that you need a break, your body and mind will tell you. And you need to listen to him. How? Close your book and say, today, no working. And you will felt in yourself unpleasantness. Because if you miss a work, then you will fall. No. Your mind is pushing you to think that, because by the ritual itself, your mind will have excuse not to attain the great work. Because when you are having all day and failure after, you even have excuse to say, but I tried. And okay, I tried, but I failed, because great work is something which is totally unreal for me to do. It is infinitely distant from me. Nobody have enlightenment that I know in my life. The Buddha and some other people get enlightenment, but for me, I have excuse, but I work. But what if you don't work? What about people who didn't have any work and have enlightenment? Your mind is obsessed by performance itself. And as long as you have performance, for you it is good. It is enough. It is better to have performance all your life without attainment. You perform it. But when you say, I will not perform, and start to enjoy about that feeling of unsecurement in self, you will reach more your selfhood, and you will be more closer to enlightenment than during the practice for enlightenment. Think about it. Sometimes the practice and the rituals are proof of our separation from the great work itself. Because if you attain the great work, will you perform a ritual of the great work? Of course not. Once you are in the communion with what we are calling Holy Guardian Angel, you will enjoy with that communion. So, performance itself is a proof of duality, is a proof of failure. Don't think that performing a ritual will get you good or attainment itself. You need to have that a bit attainment of itself the moment you start to perform it. Playing music and practicing music, it's not the same thing. When I am playing music, I am playing in full tempo from beginning until the end, and that's it. But most people don't know, when I practice the music, I never play from beginning until the end. Never. I taking a small parts of music in very small tempo. I'm doing some exercise which don't have anything to do with the music. Once you are in the stage with me, and when I play, you will say, you are a genius. How wonderful your life is that you are playing this all time. No, I don't play that. I play only when I'm on stage. But when I'm home, I'm practicing totally different manner, totally different practice. So, don't think that performing a ritual in a way that you are performing is what you need. You just need one thing: pleasure. How much you are pleasure when you are doing your daily work, yoga, rituals and everything? Not so much. Of course, you feel struggles, you feel neuroses, you feel fight, that you need to have a practice again and again and again, and sometimes it will be totally awful. You need to change that. You need to change not to seeing the same movie again. And if you watch Netflix and all cinema, what they did, the same thing you need to do in your practical life. From one script, from one movie, they cut in pieces, producing a series, season, infinite number of seasons, 1 season, 2 seasons, and they trapped you because each series is a different. The same story from the movie, but in a different way. So, you are not bored. Quite the contrary. The more you are seeing the series, you will be more trapped. And sometimes you can watch 5, 6 series in a row. Tell me how much the last time you watch one movie for 5 hours? Never. But series, of course, you can watch all day. This strategy you need to implement in your daily practical life. From your ritual of the pentagram, not to be the same movie again, but different series of one and the same script. How you can do that, I don't know. that is something for another webinar, but try to change something, to change the way of producing the names, vibrations, and everything. About the vibrations, there is 2 ways. I hope that you can hear. One, the second. Do you feel the difference between throat and the lungs? Once again. The lungs. The throat. The both could be good, depending on the type of energy that you want. But you need, with attention, remember when I look at my finger, when I'm vibrating, I am putting attention on the whole of my body. So the whole body is vibrating, no matter if I'm using this or this. This or this is just a matter of moment. Like musical. Sometimes I put jazz, sometimes I put blues, sometimes I put cinema music, depending on me, on my pleasure. You are the same position. Sometimes you will use a louder voice, sometimes you will, I don't know, change. Try to be sometimes like dance. Do it everything from one movement, from one, like I did, from one exhale. You have 30 seconds from the whole ritual. You will see how your brain will change. Because your brain don't know what is good or bad performance. Your brain will use your pleasure to value it. If you don't have pleasure, even if you are perfect, your mind will give you negative thoughts. But if you give your mind pleasure, even if you were worse, your mind will give you happiness. Something that I play in school. I never go to my exam when I have perfect knowledge. Never. I always go first on exam because I was totally in a condition that I don't have anything to lose. From 10 questions, I learn only one or two. So if I draw a question which I don't know, I will say, okay, sorry, I will go home and I don't have anything to lose. But when I have nothing to lose state, I am lucky. And I usually draw the question that I learn. And I am so relaxed that even the things that I don't know, the professor will see that I'm certain and give me always the better remark than my friend who learned 9 questions, only 1 is the question he didn't learn, and he's unlucky and always put and draw the question he don't learn. And in the end, he was so obsessed and very frightened because he know that little things that he didn't know, and he was focused on that, and he drew that. And in the end, I always get a better remark in the end of the year. Do that on the ritual. Feel pleasure, even if you are the worst. So, I don't know. The ritual of the pentagram, please, it's the ritual of the light. And in the light, we are all the same. The light has not color, it is white. There is no black, there is no white. There is no red, there is no green. Everything is white, the same as the emptiness. Somehow the light and the darkness, it's not opposed things. Quite the contrary. The ritual of the pentagram, it's not pentagram for anything. Your will is for something, but the ritual itself don't serve for benefit, good health, good money, I don't know. Yes, the energy invested in ritual can be focused and pushed in that way, but the ritual itself don't serve for that purpose. You will have money and girls as much as you for yourself is working for that. The ritual cannot give you bravery or money that just come from the sky. No, you will have enough money as long as you have in your pocket. So if you want a bigger pocket, then buy a bigger pants, but don't expect that from a ritual, because it can divert from that space. If you want enough money, maybe your parents will die in an accident, leaving you all the money for the testament and inheritance. And you will say, no, but I didn't want money in that way. Well, we didn't know that. The energy of the ritual, it's not personal. If you want money, you will get money. If you want a girl, you will get a girl. But try to think not to have any deeds, any wish while doing a ritual. Doing it like musicians, because they like music. They will have money, but they like to play and they will get money in meanwhile. Money, it's a secondary. Don't be obsessed with wish. Be satisfied with what you have. Only in that way, when you are performing ritual, there is a catch. There is always a good catch. Imagine that the ritual of the pentagram, it's the last thing that you will do in your life. After that ritual, you will fall on the ground and have a heart attack. How you will perform it? Will it be different? Or will you have sense that you need to call your father to say how you love him? Okay, call him. You will say, okay, but I need to enlarge my awareness and to think about enlightenment. Exactly. Do that. It will show you exactly what kind of daily performance you need to have. Imagine that you have only 5 minutes in your life and that asteroid will hit the earth and killing everything. How you will perform the ritual? You see how different now you are, rising your expectation, rising your attention, your good mood. But you have the good mood in all days of your life. So next time perform ritual in that way. You will see how mood for the ritual will affect the ritual itself long before you even start to performing it. But if you don't feel good, then you don't need to perform ritual at all. When you don't feel good to eat, if you don't feel hungry, will you eat? Of course not. When you are hungry, you are eating. When you are not hungry, you are not eating. Except if you are me, I can eat all time, anytime. In all cases, in all circumstances, I can eat, and that's it. There is no enough for me. So, especially if some good pasta or something. So, do this with the ritual. Do the ritual when you really feel that you need to do it. But your mind will now say, but if I never give you a feeling for ritual, then you will never perform it. Okay, perfect. I will have more time for myself. You will see that your mind will always start to use patterns to destroy your potential for goodness, potential for pleasure. Always thinking, but this is not real. This is something, always having complaints and objections. Let him have it. Always listen to your statement and your selfhood, which is the real investor of ritual. Ritual is just dance music, atmospheric music with the talk with yourself. Without that talk, any script, any movie, any music, any food is boring. But with this, whatever you do, it's good enough. Think about it. If you have some question about performance, I didn't talk about it so much, as you see. I think these things are far more important than at what year or time in humankind people invested and think about ritual of the pentagram, who created, in which country. I don't know that. I never have interest in that, although it can be interesting for the books and everything, but when you perform a ritual, you don't have time to think about it. Yeah? When I'm alone with my wife and we are sharing the private moment, I really don't have energy nor time to think about salary, about the money, about, I don't know, what kind of weather and temperature will be tomorrow. No, I'm enjoying in a moment. Why? Because I have pleasure. So, what is your pleasure? That is the beginning of every ritual. It is not Kabbalistic cross. No, Kabbalistic cross is just old form. Somebody drew it and now we are repeating like parrots. What is your pleasure? It is the beginning of every ritual, and in the end, it is the same pleasure. If you don't feel pleasure in the end as the same as in the beginning, then don't perform it. Close the book of occultism and leave it and do something else. And you will see that in that else, you will see the same pleasurement. Until you don't have pleasure in your life, simply change things. You can do something else. Occultism, it's the mechanism and the part of human nature, which is the same as we have as a kids. Play and the game. When we are feeling good, we are playing with toys. When we feel boredom, we close the box and leave the toys. This is the only strategy for great work. Because the great work, it's a term which is sound pretty much, very serious and very, very hard. That work, it's not working, it's playing. It's not divine God work. It is much more like children's play. And when you start to adopt it, the whole occultism and whole spiritual will somehow sound and looks much more different. I would like to hear, you have my email and everything, your experience, what is your, but be frankly, because I don't want to hear from you visions and archangels looks like this. No, I want from you to hear about the problems, about the hate and anger that you feel, and sadness, and I don't know, the mechanism inside you which ritual move you in human way, not in theory books way that, yes, I feel Kundalini in the left channel and the right was in blockade. No, bullshit. I want you to meet you, to talk with you about yourself. There's something that you need to do in your ritual. Talk to yourself. Will it be bore or will it be interesting? That depends on you. I don't know. This is 3 o'clock. I think it is enough for me to talk about this thing. I'm professor and I could talk all day, but I think it was good for you to hear about it. If you have any questions, I will answer it. Write me. This is the subject, which is much wider than the ritual of the pentagram itself. It is a part of our understanding of spirituality itself, which we need to do on our own. Because when we close the books and when we close the doors and when we close all things with need to focus on our work, we are alone with ourselves, and that is the best company in the world. That's it. If you have anything to to write, in what circumstances should a telemet move unless they are Boleskine? I don't know. I will say my case. I never turned to Boleskine. I don't know where it is. I know it is in United Kingdom. I was there, but I don't know where is in the direction of my on my apartment. I never took myself according to Boleskine, and even according to the east, because you know the sun is moving during the year. Expecting yourself to perform a ritual of the pentagram on the North Pole. It will be difficult, totally. So east is where your sun is. Of course, it is good to have it before you, but sometimes that east will move because of moving the whole earth and the sun rotation and evolution and everything. I personally never do that, especially with Liber Reguli and others rituals, which are in fact the same or similar to ritual of the pentagram, depending if you are working with elemental forces, with planetary forces, with the forces of Nuit, Hadith, Therion, and Babylon. But in the essence, they are the same thing. So yes, lots of people ask me about the Boleskine. Try it. Try and see how it feels you. If it gives you a stronger connection, yes. But don't believe that it is that Boleskine who is giving you that stronger connection. It is something much more closer. Boleskine is far away. There is something much nearer inside of you, which is giving you that kind of force. Try. Always try. Always change. Don't be a slave to the patterns and to the things which are now are good. Maybe in 1 year, and you will see in lucid dreaming, you always need to adopt techniques, no matter how much you find the perfect one. In 1 year, 2 years, it will be totally destroyed because you are rising out to immunity. Your mind is get accustomed and need to be changed. Something that you have fear in childhood, now you are laughing about it. So do this in your spirituality, change things. Just to see this link is for Google Drive. I think it will be, now it's empty directory. During the day I will put all video recordings, and I will put on my just to know if something goes wrong, I will put a link on my blog. But that will be maybe in few hours, because I need I don't know the name in the English, for the file to be processed and everything. So in the evening, in a couple of hours, you can find it. Of course, if you want to ask me something personally, I'm always open, as you know, to have some decent Google Meet talkings. This talking is not so much connected for the people in Telema worlds or the magic. I try to speak for all. Sometimes it's a bit difficult because there are people who don't know what is ceremonial magic, or people who are just in spiritual in that way. I always try to speak in general although the ritual of pentagram becoming a more ceremonial and Western things, especially in a way of telema and magic. But as I said, I tried to pull out from this position. Either I felt as a telemic person and telemit, but I respect your decision and your style, and I'm trying to speak in general. So that was it. 3 o'clock. We speak a lot. I speak a lot. You didn't speak at all. Like in my classroom. Thank you very much for everything. You are very, very good audience. Next webinar, I think it will be about Enochian or sexual magic tantra. I don't know, depending on my free time. Now it is summer, almost summer vacation, and in my school it is the end of the year, so lots of paperwork and everything. Maybe June or July, I don't know, we will see, but you will see everything on my web page and Facebook page. Thank you very much. I love you once again. You was always a good audience. Okay, yes. Bye.